The Champion Pitbull, dog fighting, the famous Chinaman. Born in the backyard of Mr. ABERNATHY on November 29, 1977. He was one of 3 puppies born to Sir ABERNATHY's female, the bitch Molly. The father of Chinaman is Dr. Wood's dog, the dog Trouble. The bitch Molly, whenever she bred, she only gave birth to 3 puppies. And this litter was no different. Chinaman, boy, and a dog were born, which was nicknamed ONYX Lady. It was sent to the owner of the trouble dog, Dr. Wood. The dog boy spent his life in the hands of WRIGHT, and he won 3 fights with boy. At that time, Chinaman was with Mr. ABERNATHY, and when he was already big, he was sent to Dr. Wood's backyard. Dr. Wood checked Chinaman to see if he didn't have fleas. After Chinaman stayed for a while with Dr. Wood, it was sent to Mr. Vince and to Bob in California. As a reward, from a young dog that was sold and did not live up to his expectations. The Chinaman arrived, full of worms. Flatworms, and roundworms. He was weighing only 19 kilos, he was 1 kilo less than his correct weight. Bob trapped Chinaman on a wire, so that Chinaman could run and thus help him to recover. But in thanks, Mr. Bob the Chinaman bit him. Bob got nervous and sent the Chinaman to Mr. Vince. And when Chinaman got there, it was love at first sight. Mr. Vince treated the worms, the Chinaman. And right after that, he scheduled a fight for Chinaman to participate. After a 3-hour journey, Chinaman vomited and became dehydrated. He fought Champion Cesar, who was 10 pounds overweight from Chinaman. It looked like Cesar wanted to clean the entire track floor with Chinaman. When the big dog got tired, the Chinaman grabbed his back leg and bit it hard. Despite Chinaman being sick and underweight, he managed to get up, knocked the opponent down, and made him stop in the 28th minute. Chinaman's next fight was against Doc. Doc, he was a bone breaker, he was respected. Chinaman's main task was to resist for 10 minutes in this fight. The Doc took off like a hurricane. He threw Chinaman into a corner and went for the exchange, biting. It was a big mistake. Chinaman attacked Doc in the belly, and killed him in 17 minutes, in his own house. It was clear that Chinaman was a special fighter. Chinaman won these first 2 fights, against 2 good dogs, head biters. And that they should calm the storm, the dog that bites the leg and the belly. But none of his opponents survived for more than 30 minutes inside the ring with Chinaman. For Chinaman's 3rd fight, he faced a dog which was valued, he was called Grey the Hubcap. He had knocked out the famous Red Denge in a classic 2-hour fight. Mr. Vince and Bob traveled 7 hours to get to the fight site. When they arrived, they realized the odds were 5-1, Chinaman. But, it wasn't surprising, because it wasn't different from the previous fights. Now just release the dogs. The Chinaman attacked the dog Hubcap with his teeth and drove him to the corner of the ring. And right there in the corner, he submitted the fight, which lasted 18 minutes. The Hubcap dog became a page of history, and the Chinaman was proclaimed the champion. All of a sudden, dogs weighing 19 to 20 kilos have disappeared across the country. The dogman, more respected, hid from Chinaman. This continued until Chinaman turned 7 years old. Some young people, who were fond of dog fighting, bought a dog. This dog came from the breeder Art Jackson, an expert. He is a dog who had a fighting style of biting in the head. He was compared to try to win the old Chinaman. Jackson's dog showed good abilities, which, however, were not enough to keep such an athlete as Chinaman. Chinaman broke his defense, and registered the dog as a mongrel, at the 38th minute of the fight. It was Chinaman's longest match yet, but the ending remained the same. The Chinaman swept away everything that came in its path. For anyone who saw Chinaman in battle, he was the toughest fighter, who had a real punch. All those who have seen the Chinaman in action claim that it has an alligator mouth. He was very smart. And to add. Second, some research done by some scientists. Chinaman had the stamina of a greyhound. He was smarter than most of these dogs, who had a fighting style of ear and nose biting. So Chinaman easily turned them into strays. And the dogs that attacked directly, he won even faster. For disarming opponents with his fangs was his great skill. Like all big dogs, the Chinaman was a muscular athlete, and of good pedigree. His name appears in many of today's genealogies. His contribution as a stud equals or exceeds his accomplishments as a fighter. Among his descendants, the most popular are Champion 8-Ball, Champion Cotton, Champion Chinabuck, Champion Chinagirl, Champion Stormy, Champion Miss, Champion Chinaros, Champion Ninja and Champion Croc. He had 3 children, who all passed the 3-hour mark, in one fight. Brought's dog, Boar, Cottingham's dog, Cotton and Shockley's dog, Header. Of course, Chinaman's great player contribution is inherited from the great player, Frisco Rom. The Frisco is the dog that produced the most champion dogs and great champions in combat. The Frisco is about to overtake the dog of Garrett, the Jeep in the Rom list.
See also, about the creator, Earl Tudor. My name is Rodolfo Luis, and I thank you all.